You always call me a dainty princess.
I like it sometimes, but that was ridiculous.
Hi y'all, and welcome back. We have another Instagram Q&A react. Firstly, I have another very important announcement. We have my little snow boots who brought me a green birdie this morning. Do any of y'all's kitties play fetch with you? Because she's the first one I've had, and I've had 9, and none of them have played fetch like she does. She'll drop her birdie on me and then until I chuck it across the room, and then she'll bring it right back. And then my second very important announcement is Miss Bunny enjoying some crunchies. She's the littlest kitty I've ever had, despite her being full grown, yet she is absolutely the hungriest too. She looks like a bowling ball with a little golf ball head. Her tummy is humongous and she's so cute. And I think we did need that cuteness to prepare us for this next part's Q&A. Alright y'all, so thank you so much for being here, and let's just get right into it. So first somebody asked, when will the next YouTube video be up? Amber responded, I'm honestly not sure, just needing to have a clear mind. Having to film so much of my life does get overwhelming sometimes. Not complaining, just explaining. I'll be back soon. And first we saw Miss Poet Lynn make an appearance, not complaining, just explaining. She might have a career in rap coming up soon. And second of all, having to film so much of my life gets overwhelming. Her effort in vlogging could not be more minimal. I mean, she films a 20-minute video at absolute most, does 0 editing, and that's it for the next week. And if that's overwhelming for her, could you imagine if she was in any other person's shoes? She has no responsibilities, nothing to do all day, and this is even too overwhelming for her. What about all the people that have actual jobs? What about all the people that have 2 or even 3 jobs? What about all the college students who have tons of work and have a job on the side? What about single mothers who are working and in college? I mean, this girl acts like her job is just the hardest in the entire world, that she just works day and night and she's never appreciated. She films a video that is 0 effort, 0 planning went into it. She does 0 editing, and then she uploads it and acts like she just is the most hardworking businesswoman that's ever existed. So next somebody asked, on average, how many questions do you get? Amber responded, high hundreds for sure, 700 to 900. I'm not sure on the exact amount though. And I've been on Instagram for quite a while, since I was 12, but I've never done a Q&A, so I didn't know that Instagram doesn't tell you the exact amount of questions you're getting. So with that being said, how is she getting this 700 to 900 estimate? I mean, that's quite a lot of questions. I wonder how she came up with that range. So here we have a question about the fur babies. Someone asked, how did you get each of your pets? And Amber responded, I adopted Wasabi Dot as a 3-month-old kitten from a store called Petland. I got Twinkie Star as a 3-year-old doggo, the previous owner named her, from my ex-girlfriend's mom's best friend. And I found Rarity Gray as a 2-month-old kitten outside of my apartment during a storm. And all of my pets have middle names too. I didn't know that wasn't a common thing before recently. I thought everyone just gave their pets middle names, but then I realized my boyfriend's dog doesn't, my best friend's dog doesn't, so I think that's interesting. The only kitty I've ever had that hasn't had a middle name is the one in my profile picture, Bunny, and she's also the only one that we didn't change her name. Her foster mom named her that because she hops around like a little bunny, and it just stuck. And also, I just have to say, I remember when Amber adopted Wasabi. This was during the Destiny era. But if you can, adopt, don't shop. There are so many animals in shelters that are at risk of euthanasia, and they are just as sweet and just as loving as any animal that you could purchase. And secondly, how many of y'all knew that about Rarity? I'd never heard the story of how Amber found Rarity outside of her apartment during a storm. That's an example of something that would make a good video. And I'll stop yapping about this question after I say this one thing, but Snowboots was actually found in the middle of a field in a rainstorm with her umbilical cord still attached. I'd love to hear y'all's stories in the comments of how y'all found your pets. Or if you have a kitty, if the cat distribution system found you. So next someone asked, do you need noise to fall asleep? Amber responded, I can't sleep if I hear any noise at all. The one noise I need, though, is my fan. The sound of a loud fan at night is so calming. If I hear the tiniest noise beyond that, I'm awake and can't sleep. And this is interesting to me because I remember in the past, this was in the Beck era, that Amber admitted she had to sleep upright, like in a seated position, because she was unable to breathe if she laid completely down. And this kind of implied that she had sleep apnea at one point. And correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of people with sleep apnea snore because it is more difficult to breathe. So if she's snoring, isn't that noise that technically, by her answer, would wake her up? And I know her rebuttal to this would be, oh, I don't snore, I'm so dainty, I'm the daintiest princess in the world, I don't snore. But she's just as big now, if not bigger, than she was in the Beck era, so I don't believe it. So next we have the most ridiculously hypocritical one yet. Somebody asked, is the crumble cookie video similar to what you would post on your OF? Amber said, if I ever were to post an OF, it would definitely be edited videos like that, yes. So to me, it seems like she is 100% unapologetically admitting that she would do feeder content. Because I don't care how she wants to phrase it. Oh, it's sexy, I'm seductively eating a cookie. It's not about the eating, it's about me. At the end of the day, the only reason why someone would want to watch a morbidly obese woman half naked eating a cookie is for feeder content. I don't know why she would ever admit this. It's 100% going against her narrative. So this next one comes later in the Q&A, but I wanted to put it here because it has to do with our last question. Somebody just said, crumble cookie video, and Amber responded with 3 pictures of her eating her cookie. I still can't believe this is the first time Amber has unapologetically admitted that she would be willing to do feeder content. And then she has the audacity to think her audience is so stupid and won't connect the dots that the reason she's acting like this is because her girlfriend is a feeder. Like, girl, you can't schmugger us. We know better. So next, in between questions, Amber posted this note on her Instagram story. She said, for those asking, I used to do these Q&As daily years ago, like gaycare era, bedbound era, then multiple eras after that, like Shrimpgate and Cakegate, oh, and all the other gates that have transpired throughout the years. It's just for fun and allows me to connect with you guys and hopefully feel like your voice is heard. And again, it's fun to me and I know so many of you enjoy it. And I have a lot to say about this one. First of all, I think it's very interesting that she's using the term gaycare era because that hasn't been said in many years at this point, and it's right after all my gaycare era series on my channel. I think that's interesting. She does admit she watches reaction channels. And secondly, her use of the word transpired totally indicates to me that she's back using AI, because we know our girl does not know the definition of transpired. Just a few years ago, when she was on a live stream with Beck, she said, oh, is Abraham Lincoln, was he even a president? I don't think he was a president. Wasn't he just like a publical figure? And if I can find that clip, I'll put it here, because that totally just encapsulates her lack of intelligence.
Who was the 17th president?
Oh, God.
Good God. I don't know. Abraham Lincoln?
Was he even a president? Was Abraham Lincoln a president?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was just a whatever publical figure.
And then I have just 2 more things to say. First, I hate that she claims that this is for fun and allows her to connect with her community, because it's clearly not. She's just lazy and is too lazy to do anything other than a half-effort Q&A on Instagram. And secondly, her saying, oh, I hope you guys feel like your voice is heard. All of your answers to these questions are very aggressive, in my opinion. I don't think anyone's voice is heard when she's shutting down all of these people's opinions. Somebody else asked, what's something you wish people would believe you about? Amber responded, literally everything, with a rolly eye emoji. But listen, I know that isn't possible, so anything serious that I've ever talked about, not believing little things, whatever, have fun. But when I open up about serious things, in parentheses, abuse, my health, my weight, trauma, mental health, etc., that's the stuff that I wish people would stop speculating on. And she is so infuriating in the fact that she never takes accountability for anything. Amber, why do you think your community doesn't believe you? Because you haven't fostered trust. And yeah, we don't believe you about the small things because you've lied about the huge things. Falsely accusing Casey, your ex, of Rain and Petal's eavesdrop, that's huge. And to this day, she's never apologized for it. All she's done in any kind of response towards the situation was saying, oh yeah, I used the wrong word.
Rain and Petals eavesdrop. I used the wrong word.
Like, girl, no amount of Cruella de Vil quotes or poorly written poems is going to resolve the fact that you falsely accused someone of doing something terrible to you. And all I have to say is if you feel the need to make a YouTube video titled Everything I've Lied About, you clearly got a problem. On a lighter note, someone else asked, what are you watching on Netflix? Amber said nothing currently. I've been super picky with shows lately. I've always been pretty picky, but it's worse than ever. Nothing can keep my attention, and if it does, then it must be good. Well, why don't we stop being picky about Netflix shows and start being picky about our food intake? Maybe that way we wouldn't be over 600 pounds. Next is an annoying one. Someone asked, latest collection obsessions you haven't shared yet? Amber replied, highlighters. It was a quick obsession, literally hundreds of dollars on highlighters for no reason. I haven't had a weird obsession like that in a while, so I'm letting it slide. And oh my goodness gracious, she spent hundreds of dollars on highlighters? That is absolutely insane. And she has the audacity to, in the past, lecture us about using money responsibly when this is how she spends her money? We thought the expert Legos were bad. Hundreds on highlighters? I mean, how many highlighters does one need? And also there she goes again, passing it off as one of her weird, quirky obsessions. Throwing away money is neither cute nor quirky. I don't understand how she justifies it by labeling it as an obsession. That doesn't change the fact that you're spending hundreds of dollars on something you don't need. You're not a teacher. So here we go again with Amber crumbling her cookie. Someone asked, are we really going to get the crumble cookie video? Amber responded, yes, but I'm not sure what the best plan of action is, like which website, etc. And once again, her willingness to put out theater content is insane. Someone else asked, does it not bother you that you've been trying to lose weight for 10 years? Amber replied, I've been trying to lose weight since I was 10 years old. First diet I was put on was when I was in a group home and I was made to switch the kind of milk I drank and they made me chug water before each meal. Second diet was Weight Watchers at the age of 11 to 12. I've been trying to lose weight for 24 years now. I'd go ahead and say it bothering me is an understatement. In the first example that she used, I wouldn't call that a diet, I would just call that tips. It is proven that if you drink more water before you eat, you're going to become fuller quicker. And secondly, I remember her telling us that story about her in a group home, and she was made to switch from whole milk to 1% milk or even 2% milk. And she was like, oh, they were so fat phobic. I mean, what do you mean they're fat phobic? They're trying to help you lose weight. They're trying to help you become healthier. Is that a crime now? And her agreeing that her trying to lose weight for more than half her life and failing at it is quote unquote bothering her. I mean, the only person in direct control of that is you. If it's bothering you so much, you would have made a change by now. So by that argument, I don't think it bothers her at all. Another person asked, where's your dream honeymoon destination? Amber replied, Greece would be magical, but anywhere with my baby would be special to me. And she's never talked about Greece before. She's mentioned Bora Bora in the past, so I don't know where Greece came from, but she's not getting on a plane anytime soon, and she's not going really anywhere anytime soon as long as Miss Sloms is feeding her. So the only honeymoon that I can think of is the casino, or maybe if there's a cheesecake factory nearby. This next one is so disgusting. If you're eating, skip. Somebody asked, funniest conspiracy theory you've heard about yourself? Amber responded, waffle stomping. Like, ma'am, no. And if y'all don't know what that is, I would not suggest you look it up, and I also don't feel like explaining it here. But honestly, I could see Amber doing that because I think she'd want to clog the drain, and it would give her an excuse to not be able to shower. So moving right along, someone asked, I have to make a decision that will change my life. How do you handle really tough choices? And I just have to say, if you have to make a decision that will change your life, why are you asking Amberlynn Reid on her Instagram Q&A? So Amber responded, weigh out pros and cons, lots of journaling, talking it out with people whose opinions/thoughts matter to me. And to my recollection, I don't think Amber's ever had to make a tough decision or a decision that altered her life, so I don't know how she's qualified to answer this question. Maybe a really, really tough decision that Miss Reid has had to make in her life was deciding which restaurant to go to for dinner. Now that's a hard one. And I'm going to make a conscious effort to stop talking so much and move along because I tend to yap on and on in these Q&As. So someone else asked, I often rewatch your live streams. Will you do a Buzzball live again soon? Amber responded, honestly, I can see myself doing one soon. And there's really nothing wrong with drinking every once and again, but Amberlynn purposefully live streaming with the goal of finishing a bottle of wine or drinking 6 Buzzballs in one sitting, I mean, that's screaming issue to me. Another question we have is, do you acknowledge that you saying, so what if I gaslight my audience, was messed up? Amber responded, it was a facetious statement that got blown out of proportion during a time I felt extremely overwhelmed. No excuse for it, but I genuinely wasn't serious. Thankfully, it was 4 years ago and I'm able to move past stupid stuff I've said in the past. I'm sorry to those I hurt with that statement. And there she goes again, adding fuel to that fire of speculation. You're telling me Amberlynn knows the definition of facetious? You're telling me Amberlynn's little noggin came up with that sentence on her own with no help from AI? Highly improbable. It just shows how dumb she is because she's thinking that we're all gonna fall for it and be like, oh, she's so smart. Look at these big words and phrases she's using. Oh, she's such a genius. When in reality, all it's doing is showing her audience that she's unable to come up with responses to these questions herself, that she needs assistance. And also, I love how much she contradicts herself. She's saying there's no excuse for it, but her first sentence in her response is an excuse. And also, I don't understand her argument that, thankfully it was 4 years ago, so I moved past it. How does time negate the fact that you said something bad? You have to make a conscious effort if you want healing to come with time. Otherwise, the problem's not going to fix itself. And what do you mean you're able to move past it? What about the people that you upset by saying that? What if they haven't moved past it? Clearly they haven't if someone's still bringing it up in your recent Q&A. Oh, I hate how she says, I've moved past it now, like that's all that matters. It reminds me of when she said, verbatim, her own words were, oh, Twinkie was shaking and crying in pain. Oh, I hope the vet can say something to make me feel better. Like, make you feel better? Twinkie's the one who's in pain. Why does the vet need to make you feel better? This just shows how Amberlynn is a perpetual victim and everything always has to be about her. Golly, y'all, I said I'd shush it up a bit and I haven't. Someone else asked, would you ever do scheduled weekly live streams again, or has that ship sailed? Amber said it's definitely a possibility. I won't say no, but if I ever have a weekly live stream, I also want to still upload alongside of that. There will never be a live stream era only again. And hallelujah, none of us ever want to see that again. Moving on. What is one small goal you've recently made for yourself? Amber said, I created a YouTube schedule. That's about as far as I got. And of course it is. Amber is incapable of doing anything that requires more than a teaspoon of effort. Remember when she finally made a schedule for YouTube uploading and then a few days later was like, scratch that. You know, a lot of YouTubers don't have schedules. Most YouTubers don't have schedules, aka she was too lazy to stick to it. Someone else asked, now that you're with Tommy, do you believe the love you felt for past relationships was different? Amber said, I have felt a different love in every single relationship I've been in, so yes. And I think in Amber's response, she's just trying to save face because in every relationship she's ever been in, she ends up shading her previous partner saying, oh, they didn't love me like this. I've never felt a love like this. They support me unlike anyone else. And I think her brain finally racked up the one brain cell to realize that that's what this person was getting at, trying to get that response out of her to prove her constant cycle. So she responded with this, trying to prove us all wrong. This one's horrific. Someone said, I love these. I could read them all day. Thanks for interacting with us. Amber said, of course. Thank you for enjoying and not finding them annoying. And all of us find them annoying and all of us find them disgusting. Moving on. You once replied that you use proper punctuation when you always overuse a period. Amber said, I use a period at the end of sentences, sure, but dang, I'm not perfect. If overusing a period is my punctuation flaw, I think I can handle that. And it's really rich coming from her saying, oh, but dang, I'm not perfect, when this clip of her exists.
I use proper grammar no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm writing a note to somebody or whether I'm just texting or tweeting, no matter what it is. I just like have a really big like OCD with it. Like it's kind of like a perfectionist problem.
She literally used the word perfection in that clip. It's like she doesn't realize that video evidence of her exists on her channel. Ugh, this one's nasty. What is your favorite thing about your relationship with your girlfriend? She said getting to experience life with your best friend who you also find extremely sexy. If you know, you know. And oh, I hate when she uses that word to describe Tommy's Mr. Burns face because it could not be further from sexy. And also, I know that sounds really mean, but I don't have a problem with making fun of someone who's literally killed someone in the past. Someone asked, do you ever take what Zachary Michael says and consider it, like how a friend would be giving you tough love? Amber said no, because I'm not sure how much is genuine. What he's doing is his job. He wouldn't be doing it for free. If he cared about me, he'd contact me in person and tell me that. But like most reaction channels, they don't care about me. The advice and concern they share publicly could be made privately, if it actually mattered. Because more than likely, I'm not watching your video. So who are you really talking to? Your audience, not me. And first of all, her saying, I'm likely not watching your video. You a lie.
You're a lie. You're a lie.
When she's always admitted watching reaction channels and looking herself up on Reddit and Kiwi Farms, and she's so obsessed to the point where she makes a fake identity, aka Damon White, to check on what people are saying about her. And I think Zachary Michael does care about Amber, not just because he's gentle in what he says, but because I think all reaction channels, to an extent, care about Amber. I've said this in a previous part, this might have been the first Q&A I did, but I truly believe that the only people that genuinely care about Amber and her well-being are reaction channels and are quote-unquote haters, because we're the only ones who are telling Amber what she needs to hear. Her babies supporting her every move and decision and enabling her to harm herself by continuing to overeat don't care about her whatsoever. And I was going to do a lot more questions, but I'm in such a yappy mood that I feel like it's best if I save the rest for later. And also, this is such a cute one to end on. Someone asked, what's the first picture in your camera roll? Amber responded with a picture of baby Twinkie, saying, Twinkie as a pup. And we've never seen this picture before. It's so adorable. Like she said in a previous answer, she got Twinkie at the age of 3 years old. So all we've ever seen is Twinkie as an adult. And this picture is so cute because Twonk's head is like bigger than her body. She looks like a little bean. It is adorable. Plus, this leads right into our tradition of showing one of my fur babies at the end of these videos. This is Snow Boots, as I'm sure a lot of y'all know. She sleeps by my head every single night, and she curls her little head under her paw. I've been getting so many comments of y'all sharing your pets with me, and it is the sweetest thing ever. I got a comment about somebody who just adopted a bearded dragon. I got a comment of somebody who just adopted a new puppy, and it is so cute, and I love hearing about this, y'all. And I don't care how pathetic this sounds, but I truly do read every single comment on my channel. Maybe if there's a comment on a video that I posted quite a while ago, like one of my MichaelBePetty compilations, I probably won't see it. But especially on the newer ones, I truly do read every single comment. So when y'all tell me something, I do read it, and most times I'll respond. I want to thank y'all so much for being here and for watching. I'm sorry these videos are coming out a bit later than they normally do. I've had busy days with calculus homework and whatnot, but I do want to get these out nonetheless. I'll continue my daily videos, so don't worry about that. Thank y'all so much again for watching. I love y'all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.